Hey everybody, this is John from /bash, and today I am bringing you another malicious compliance Reddit video. If you are new to the channel, then subscribe, and make sure to click on notifications so you don't miss out on the fun. In our first story, a civilian wife demands a salute. Let's jump right in. There are a handful of rules to saluting in the American military. The when, why, and how is drilled into you from boot camp until the day you leave. Even the order in which salutes are rendered have meaning. When it comes to vehicles, there are helpful insignia and stickers to indicate if it's an officer, such as a colored sticker located on the front windshield. My base was small enough where it was everyone's job at some point to do sentry duty at the front gate, which had housing for military families. Sentry duty was pretty basic. You'd stop every vehicle, check IDs, and then wave them through. If they were an officer, you'd see it coming with those colored stickers, and after verifying the identity of the officer, you'd salute and send them on their way. One day while I was on duty, I approached a vehicle with an officer's sticker, and there was only the officer's wife driving in the vehicle. I returned her ID, wished her a nice day, and waved her through. Pausing with a stern look, "Where's my salute, Petty Officer Citizen Alpha?" Now, Karen here was wife to a higher-ranking officer and has clearly fallen under the impression people are saluting her somewhere along the line. Some of the junior enlisted might have even been saluting her, as they're pretty easy to bully and more prone to flip-ups. I politely replied, "Ma'am, salutes are only rendered to commissioned officers," angrily pointing her chubby little fingers at the front of her windshield towards her husband's officer sticker. "I have a sticker and you need to salute the sticker." Curtly, I continued, "I'm afraid that sticker is not an officer either." Frustrated, she pulled through and left my post. My cover guy, the guy keeping me safe with a big gun, and I watched her drive down the street and pull right into the administrative building with the top brass and huffed into the building as quickly as her soft little body would take her. We exchange a look between us with wry smiles, knowing exactly where this is probably going. Later that day, we get a new official base-wide mandate. From here forward, all enlisted will salute vehicle stickers of officers regardless of who's in the vehicle. Roger that. Here is where the malicious compliance comes in. It's worth noting that when you salute an officer as enlisted, you do it first and you hold that salute until you are saluted in return and they lower theirs. Only then do you lower your salute. It signals that you're saluting them and they're replying. Additionally, when saluting a group of officers, you generally direct your salute and greeting to the highest ranking individual. Now, as far as I know, this stupid sticker salute order has no accommodation for how a 2004 Toyota Camry fits into the officer's pecking order. Additionally, if the car is unoccupied, it's not like that sticker is removed. After that order came through, we all began saluting stickers. Personally, I direct my salute to the sticker. I would also prioritize sticker salutes over officers. Let me tell you, walking through parking lots was a blast as I saluted empty cars on my way to wherever. More and more people saw me doing it, and more people started doing it. Not long after, the order was publicly rescinded, which hilariously had the balancing effect of never rendering a salute to anyone but a clearly known officer, cementing Karen never getting her unearned salutes. In story 2, a customer demands I drive out to fix her broken terminal twice. A recent story reminded me of this. Way back in the day, 1992-ish, I worked tech support for a company that handled installations of Unix computers, terminals, and software for accounting systems for small organizations. Custom software, check printing using a special magnetic ink character recognition toner, and off-the-shelf HP laser printers. This was all running off Unix servers. We could dial into their setup and remote control the software, apply updates, etc. One day, I get a call from this woman who insisted that the terminal she was using was broken. I called into their system and could see that the terminal wasn't connected at the moment, so I stepped her through a few things like making sure that it was plugged in, etc. She insisted absolutely that it was plugged in, turned on, and the light was on and everything. After running through all the possibilities that I could think of, she was still adamant that I come out and replace the terminal since it was clearly broken. I hesitated about making the trip since it was 225 kilometers away. It would require about 5 or 6 hours of my day to make the round trip, traffic, and a lot of snow, but my boss told me to make sure these customers were kept happy. I grabbed a new terminal out of the storage closet, some extra cabling, in case it was just a bad serial cable, and my tools and headed out on the trip. At least I got paid enough per kilometer that it was well worth it. It took me about 3 hours to get there and the woman is just steamed. I walk in the door, set my bag down, look at the wall, where the power cord is clearly not plugged into the wall itself. I picked up the cable, plugged it in, and lo and behold, the terminal turned on and the login prompt comes up. I looked at her and she tells me that she tried that. I was literally in the office for less than 60 seconds. And since the call was not actually our problem, they got billed for that 6-hour service call in full, and I got 450 kilometers of mileage. At like 25 cents per kilometer, was way more than the gas and maintenance on my old 86 Honda Accord cost me. Cue the same woman 8 days later. She's on the phone to me screaming that my fix didn't work at all, and that the terminal was broken again, and that I needed to replace the faulty terminal right now. I asked her if the terminal was plugged into the wall because remember last week when I came out and it wasn't plugged in? Are you absolutely sure? She was absolutely sure. Another 3-hour drive down there. Walk in the door and look at what I see. The power cable is clearly laying on the floor again. I asked her if she saw that it was unplugged. She told me that she isn't technical and that I should have made sure that it was done right last time. I plugged it back in and guess what? It worked! Huzzah! She was still mad because it shouldn't be happening this much. Not sure how I was supposed to make that happen. I grabbed my bag, but before I left, I noticed that this small company had gotten a new receptionist. I guess before that they didn't have one. So I stopped and chatted for a bit, asked her if she knew anything about what's going on with the plug to the terminal. She didn't have a clue, but she would keep an eye out for me. It was about another 10 days before I get another call from the lady again. I tell her I was on a service call, but I'd call her back in 5 minutes. A quick call to the receptionist where she said that the lady had her little nephews in the room, so she ran and checked that the terminal was unplugged for me. It was. She plugged it back in, and when I called back to the lady, she said it was working again, but was still wary that it was going to go out. I told her that if it fails again, have her receptionist call me so she won't have to wait, and I can perform a reset of the connection remotely, a new feature, and get her up and running in 2 minutes. I never had to make another in-person service call to that location again. I sent the receptionist a big box of chocolates for Christmas. In story number 3, what happens when I asked for 3 days off? Hello Reddit, I lurk a lot and realized I had my own malicious compliance a few weeks ago. My job is very mentally taxing. I also have my own mental health issues, so I try my best to balance, but I just want to help so I get caught up taking more responsibilities than I'm actually able to. So a couple weeks ago, I realized my mental health is in steep decline. I was ignoring the signs of push-through, but anyone with mental health issues knows that you can only ignore the signs for so long. I try to get ahead of a mental crash and talk to my supervisor to tell them that I need 3 days off, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and as I had the weekend off after the days I requested, I figured that might be enough to get a good rest and reset. I did tell my supervisor why I needed the days, burnout, mental health, and they said they understood and would get back to me. They contact me back. I say they because right now I technically have 2 supervisors running my division, and say they can probably give me Wednesday and Thursday, but that they couldn't give me Friday. I ask if we can do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday instead, and I could work the Friday, have my long weekend, and that should still be fine. They say they will get back to me. I get a text soon after to ask me to help cover other shifts, and I obviously can't, so I decline. They get back to me the next day. We can get your shifts covered for Wednesday and Thursday, but not Tuesday, and you have to make up the hours." That was the final straw. I just broke. I was asking for a break because I was working too much because it was hard for me to say no. I even called them. They had me on speaker, in tears, and explained even further why I need the days. I have been going through trauma therapy and my mental health has been declining. I had told them that I had spoken to my doctor and that my doctor said I was showing signs of burnout and recommended some days off, which is true as I had talked to him the day before. All they heard was doctor and said, "We need a doctor's note." Okay, fine. Good thing I have another appointment. I had to work that day, just defeated because they couldn't find anyone to cover my shifts. I talked to my doctor and he says that he can tell I'm in distress and he puts me on 2 weeks of leave immediately. They did not look pleased when I handed in my doctor's note. That was 2 weeks ago. I went back to the doctor and he extended my leave for at least another month. Cause straw broke the camel's back and my mental health just went down the drain. Oh, also, when I gave them my doctor's note with 4 weeks on it, one of them wouldn't even look at me and the other just said, "Oh, a doctor's note, thanks." Here's an edit. Holy barnacles, this blew up. I thank everyone for all their support. Also, for those asking, no, I am not in America, and I was able to apply for sickness benefits. This is John from /bash. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed the video and want to see more of them, then hit that subscribe button. We'd love for you to drop a like, share it with your friends, and we will see you in the next one.